everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Exquisite Beauty MUA and my name is Jen. And I just wanted to jump right into this video today. I finally purchased the P. Louise base. This is the eye primer that's so famously going around. Everybody is using this and I thought I would give it a chance. Now what I usually do to prime my eyes is that I use my ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and this is in the color Medium Dark 32, and in the P. Louise one I did get the one that says number 2 on it. I want to battle it out between the two to see which one performs better, to see if the hype about the P. Louise primer is all that it's hyped up to be. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. And I'm just going to start off by using my ColourPop concealer to prime my eyes the way that I usually do, and I'm going to be doing it on this side over here, and then I'll be using the P. Louise base on the other side. So I'm going to zoom you in so we can get started. I am just going to be opening this ColourPop concealer up, and I'm actually going to be using my Alamar packing brush so that I can actually scoop it out, because the applicator broke on it, so that's that. I still have a lot left. It's like it's been a while since I actually did my makeup on camera. I forgot how to record. What I first like doing is that I like applying some of the ColourPop No Filter setting powder. Now this is in the color Translucent, and I'm just going to be taking a fluffy brush, which this one is the Morphe 441, just so that I can apply some powder on my eyes before I use the concealer. Now the reason why I do this is because I do have very oily lids. This picks up the oils on my skin just a lot better. And just to be fair, I am going to be doing this on both sides, just so that the only difference is going to be the concealer or the base. I can't believe it that I almost forgot to do this step. And just setting that aside, because after I do my base and my concealer, I like applying on some more setting powder just to lay that down. Alright, now I can carve out my brows. And with this Morphe M335 chubby brush, I'm just going to be blending out the concealer just so that this is nicely blended out. And then once again, I'm just going to take that same Morphe 441 brush and that setting powder just so that I can set my base. And then to carve out on the other side of my eye using the P. Louise base, I'm just going to be using this Luxie. This is the 160. It is supposed to be a lip brush, but I find this very nice to clean up under my brows. And this is what the packaging looks like for the P. Louise base. I'm sure you've seen this already 1,000 times. I really like it. I like that black and gold packaging, and not to mention the little top is gold too. That's super cute. I love that. And I'm just going to be putting some on the back of my hand. It does seem a little light. One of the girls at the Morphe store recommended that this should be good for me, so let's see. This is extremely light. I felt like I could have gone with a little bit darker color, but let's see how this ends up working out. And for the other eye, to blend out that base, I am going to be using the same thing. This is another Morphe 335 brush. I love these brushes, so I have a spare one just so that I could blend that base out. And I hope that this doesn't look too crazy at the end, because these are two completely different colors. I am going to be using the same eyeshadow palette, but still the base is completely different, and the tone on this one is very, very light, but let's see how it turns out at the end. That looks entirely different.
Oh my god.
I'm so scared. I don't know, guys. Let's wait and see. And I'm just checking to see which eyeshadow palette I want to use, because I know I want to use something that is reliable and that I know blends out beautifully. So I'm going to be using the Saharan by Juvia's palette, and these eyeshadows blend out so beautifully. They're very creamy. They're just so reliable. So I think I'm going to be going with this one, and let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be using that Fluffy Morphe 441 brush, and I'm going to be starting with this color Katsina right here, just to make sure I can blend that all over the eye. Hopefully this helps out the P. Louise side so that it looks a little bit like my ColourPop side, because I like my base to look a little bit like my skin tone, just because it's personal preference. See, so this doesn't really look like much, but at least we're setting down that base. Hopefully this helps out to kind of even this side. And I'm just applying a little bit more on the P. Louise side, just because I really want to try to match these up as best as possible. Alright, so I think that's as close as we're going to get to that. And next, I'm going to be using that same Morphe 441 brush, and I'm going to be taking this color right here, a Jamila, to be placing this more in the crease area. So that's just dipping one time into that Jamila color, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side just so I can compare how the application is. And honestly, I don't know if it's the color that's throwing me off on the P. Louise, but it looks a little lighter. Like the ColourPop side looks a little bit more pigmented. And I was going to dip back into that Jamila color again, but I decided to use what I have on my brush just to blend it out and give it a chance. This looks a little bit harsher. So yes, the pigment is stronger on this side, but again, it could be the color. It is needing a little bit more blending out. But Juvia's eyeshadows are absolutely insane. They're so beautiful. And I love how the shimmer, you really don't need to apply any setting spray or anything like that. They apply beautifully on their own. Of course, if you do use the setting spray, they are a lot more vibrant, but they're just so stunning. I love these eyeshadow palettes. I'm gonna go with this Luxie 229 tapered blending brush, and I think I'm gonna be taking some of this top color right here. It's very vibrant. It's called XOXO, and let's start off with the ColourPop side and kind of blending that in with the Jamila color. And next, I'm going to be using this Luxie. It's a 245 small shader brush, and I'm just going to be using this so that I can take this color Lulu right there and applying this all over the crease. And I am going to be using some of my Pixi makeup fixing mist. This is the one with rose water and green tea, just so that I can get that on there pretty precisely. It applies good on its own, but I just want to show you on how the bases apply, not the shadows today. And I'm just going to be using my finger to see if I can make that pop a little bit more. And just using the same shade for the other eye and using some of that setting mist to apply it on as well. And next I'm just going to be taking this angled Vintage Cosmetics Company brush so that I can apply it a little bit closer on the outer corner. And I'm going to be just taking that same color Jamila and applying this on the outer edge. And next I'm gonna be taking this Morphe 508 brush and the color Iman. It's gonna be this color right here, just so I can apply that on my brow bone. Alright, let me just bring it in closer so that you can see how I blended out everything and how the eyes look up close. Alright, so those are the eyes are right there. Alright, so this is going to be the P. Louise side, and this right here is the ColourPop side, so you can actually see how everything blended out and if you actually see a difference. This side up here might be a little bit lighter, and that's going to be because of the color of the base that I bought, and I think that might be changing the colors a little bit and the pigmentation, but overall this is how they look, just so you can see an up close version of that. Hopefully you can see them pretty good. And I'm going to be finishing up the rest of my makeup, and I will be back to give you my final thoughts on the battle between the ColourPop No Filter Concealer and the P. Louise base. Alright guys, so I finished up doing the rest of my face, and I've got to say that I really loved the battle of the two primers and base that I used. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so I can actually show you how everything looks now that I'm finished. And I've got to say that this side, the one with the ColourPop, does look a little bit chunkier. It doesn't look as clean, as smooth as the side with the P. Louise one does, and it blended out beautifully. It looks very smooth. That's the first thing. The color's gonna throw it off a little bit, but overall the way it looks, this is a lot cleaner. It's smooth. It doesn't look rigid or chunky on the eyeshadows, which I think that's very important. This just looks absolutely seamless. So I've got to say, I'm surprised. I honestly didn't think that there was going to be much of a difference between the two. Loved the way that the P. Louise base applied. The only thing that was throwing me off a little bit was the shade. I might go back into the store and exchange it for a little bit of a darker shade, just because I think that maybe shade number 3 would work a little bit better just with my skin tone, because this is very, very light. Of course, with my brow, it looks stunning because it just highlights this whole area automatically, and when you lay down the colors, it kind of covers it up a little bit. At first, I did want to work it out a little bit to where it looked a little bit like the other side, that way there wasn't too much of a crazy difference, but I'm surprised. Alright guys, so that is it for today. I hope that you did enjoy today's video. If you did, remember to leave it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, then just hit that little red box down below. I would love to have you here, and remember, always be grateful, always be thankful, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye!